Travel alert, using the path, you travel northwest, taking 10 minutes to arrive. This small brick building is closed and locked, obviously intended to incarcerate those who have violated some local law. It may or may not be occupied, but given that it's magically sealed, you won't be finding out what's inside anytime soon. While you can't enter the jail, you do find a bulletin board affixed to one wall that has a number of written notices pinned to it. Reviewing the variety of notices, the majority of them address various minor events and local functions going on throughout Nace, the bulletin board meant to provide general news and information within the city. These notices seem fairly nondescript and unimportant. What does attract your eye, however, are the half a dozen or so notices for escaped feline, those who apparently were owned by various humans throughout the capital city and had fled, run away or otherwise escaped from their owners unlawfully. In each of the notices, a modest reward is offered for the capture and return of the escaped feline. Janet, let's do an empathy check on your hero to see if you can determine anything further from these notices. Needing a 12 or less from Janet, a 4 was rolled. Success. As you read through these notices, it becomes clear that each were written from the perspective of human owners wanting their property back, as if the feline involved were mere objects to be possessed and controlled. While the feline you've encountered so far have all exhibited a wide variety of different attitudes and behaviors, they've seemed equally intelligent, even sentient, and you're both surprised and saddened to see that the humans here in Nace apparently saw them only as things to be possessed. There is nothing more to discover here on the outside of the jail. Time to move along. Travel alert, using the path, you travel east, taking 10 minutes to arrive. This shop seems to contain just about every type of stone, crystal, and rock imaginable, so if you're looking to buy or sell a few gems or pieces of jewelry, you've come to the right place. That is, if you can get the young man's attention here. Disregarding your party completely at first, the man seems to be playing with some sort of toy shaped like a mouse, something you'd expect from one of the feline. The strange man looks up at you, signaling with his eyes that he's indeed open for business, so long as you don't covet the toy he is utterly obsessed with. The transaction commences and you pay the jeweler, placing your coin down on the counter next to him. Still obsessed with his toy mouse, however, he just continues to bat the toy around, all but ignoring you. You're free to buy and trade additional gems and jewelry, but don't expect the jeweler to act normally anytime soon. Redfern sells 2 aventurines and receives the equivalent of 120 gold pieces. Travel alert, using the path, you travel southeast, taking 5 minutes to arrive. Entering the rather large tavern, you find a moderately sized human crowd enjoying their food and beverages. However, the place is overrun with juvenile feline having a wild but equally good time, the creatures apparently not interrupting or annoying the humans here in the slightest. The sight is quite bizarre, but it's something you've become accustomed to here in Nace since your arrival. Before you can even sit down and order anything, a small group of feline approach you directly and mumble something about wanting to play a game. From what you can tell, the game involves pitching stones into the fireplace to see who can cause the largest flames to shoot out. Seems a little dangerous. How do you respond? Choose an option, bully them, draw your weapons instead, ignore them, simply say not this time, play with them, accept the challenge. Janet permanently increases her optimism score by 1 point, at first not interested in such frivolous activity, especially in something that could potentially burn the entire tavern down. You decide a moment later that perhaps joining the felein may afford some clues as to what's going on within the city. Almost giddy with excitement, the felein explain that each team gets 3 chances to throw small rocks into the fire. The team that causes the largest flames to escape from the fireplace is the winner. Recognizing that the game seems a bit dangerous, you accept anyway to see where this might go. Let me try. Ariana shouts, retrieving 3 stones from an outstretched paw of one of the felein. And so the game commences. Let's do a dexterity check on Ariana to see how successful she is. Needing a 17 or less from Ariana, a 9 was rolled. Success, well, Ariana seems like a natural at this. All 3 of her throws generate some massive flames from the fireplace, the last of which actually sets a few nearby chairs on fire. Your party quickly jumps forward to put the small fires out, leaving Ariana and yourself momentarily alone with the feline pyromaniacs. Clever girl, great arm. One of the humanoids jokes, impressed. Flavit would be proud. Flavit? Ariana asks with a smile. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. Embarrassed, the feline returns the smile, then leads his own party away, taking their shenanigans elsewhere within the tavern. Minutes later the party is seated at a larger table in the far corner of the tavern, as away from the general feline mayhem as possible. A young, attractive half-elf then steps to your table, the same grin on her face as everyone else and in great spirits. Aren't things grand? The pretty young woman states, almost as if she were in love. Nace sure has been better off since Feria skipped town. I think that's the supreme healer priest the fortune teller told us about, Redfern recalls. She's the one who needs rescuing, right? Let's do a curiosity check on Nace to see if he knows anything more. Needing a 8 or less from Nace, a 8 was rolled. Success, Feria. Nace asks, recognizing the name. Supreme Healer Priest Feria, leader of the Sislan Way here in Nace? Do you know where she is? Now, let me see, the waitress responds, taking a moment to reflect. I do seem to remember she was with the church and all. Yes. I think she lost her faith and left. Yes, that was it. Lost her faith? Nace counters, incredulous. She would never do such a thing. Where is she now? Gone. She left. Skipped town. Just walked away. The half-elf smiles again, almost instantly forgetting the conversation as if it had no relevance whatsoever. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. Supreme Healer Priest Feria would not just abandon her people or her faith like that, Nace laments. We need to find her. Still smiling as if she were the happiest girl in all of Sicilus, the waitress here remains ever patient to take your order, reminding you that 1 gold piece will be required to bring you all the food and drink you can consume. GM note, Janet lost 1 gold piece. Collecting your money with that same obnoxious smile, the half-elf soon brings plenty of food and drink to enjoy and you spend the next hour or so filling your bellies and relaxing. Having had your fill, you listen attentively for rumors amidst the din of soft conversations. An hour passes, during which you hear something intriguing. For decades, the foolish human socialists governing Hope Air have been just handing out its wealth and resources to anyone who wanted them, without requiring anyone to work for their sustenance or possessions. How can a country prosper and grow if it's freely giving away all of its assets on a regular basis? An hour passes, during which you hear something intriguing. Lord Rustinian, the new head of the government here in Hope Air, recently decreed that the felein are to be left totally alone, free to do anything they wish throughout the city in return for all the terrible things that were done to them by the humans over the centuries. An hour passes, during which you hear something intriguing. Although Sislan fear antidote has been regularly arriving from Pirapa and sent to the Sislan church, it never seems to actually arrive at the building. Somehow, all the antidote received the past season or so has gone missing, nobody knows where it is. Travel alert, using the path, you travel northeast, taking 5 minutes to arrive, reams of paper lie stacked everywhere, while a human cleric and magic user await your presence, ready to sell you whatever magical scrolls you may require. Indeed, while the pair here aren't acting all that strange, they also seem to be in deep meditation and you assume it's okay to buy and sell any scrolls that you wish. The transaction commences and the scribe utters some sort of thanks, quickly lapsing into his near catatonic state again. It does not take long for you to recognize that the pair of humans here are not normal. Rather, they appear drugged, they're still conscious and can even communicate, but there is something wrong with them. Let's do an intelligence check on your hero to see if you can deduce what's going on. Needing a 13 or less from Janet, a 13 was rolled. Success, searching the two humans to try and determine what is wrong with them, it does not take long for you to discover several spent vials of fear antidote on the floor. The cleric and magic user here have recently taken the antidote and are drugged. Hence, there is little you can do for them, apart from buying or selling more scrolls if you wish. The catatonic scribes here await for you to buy and sell magical scrolls. A few other shops exist to the west while the city's power tower, surrounded by a variety of buildings and other shops, stands tall to the south. Travel alert, using the path, you travel south, taking 10 minutes to arrive. Stepping into this modest establishment, you encounter all sorts of weapons, suits of armor, shields and other objects related to combat and the general defense of an adventurer. Moments later, a muscular human fellow appears from beyond a stone counter and hails you, inquiring about your business here. Sporting a large smile, the smith seems almost overjoyed to see you and makes several jokes. Your transaction is completed and the smith flings the coins you gave him over his shoulder as if they mean nothing. A well-dressed feline then appears alongside the smith, himself smiling but in more control. Holding a 2-foot section of an old, wooden, broken staff, the feline looks to the smith, holds up the staff section and asks fetch. Amazingly enough, the smith nods his head with tremendous excitement. The feline throws the broken staff as far as he can, and the smith dashes after it, retrieving the item and returning it to the feline. It's a sight you wouldn't have believed if you hadn't seen it yourselves. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. The feline rubs his head against the smithy in a sign of appreciation and then disappears, the buff young man ready again to buy and sell to you if desired. The smithy awaits for you to buy and sell additional weapons, suits of armor and shields. Just don't throw anything that will cause him to fetch again. Janet sells 1 sling and receives the equivalent of 80 copper pieces. GM note, merchants buy and sell items of up to 100 gold pieces in value. Travel alert, using the road, you travel east, taking 5 minutes to arrive. Stepping into this establishment, you see all manner of chests, trunks, cabinets, shelves, and so forth containing just about anything mundane that you could want. A tall, older man then appears from behind a counter, a huge smile on his face. Are you having fun? The merchant asks between bouts of laughter. Buy, sell, whatever. It does not matter. Your transaction complete, you watch in near disbelief as the merchant simply drops the coins you just gave him on the floor, as if he couldn't care less about them. Clearly the merchant is acting very strange. The merchant laughs again, then steadies himself for a moment to talk to you again. Are you almost done? I have to go feed the cats. Believing that his comment is utterly hilarious, the merchant again busts out with tremendous laughter, to the point where he is obnoxious. This shopkeeper is an embarrassment, Eswin comments, not humored in the least. What would you like to try with the merchant? Choose an option: Constitution, check for possible poisoning; Intelligence, quiz the merchant; Wisdom, reason with the merchant. Your party spends the next 20 minutes physically examining the merchant, trying to find any obvious exposure to poisons or anything else that would cause his bizarre behavior. However, he seems physically fine, some sort of poison does not seem to be an issue. The merchant awaits for you to buy and sell any mundane item you wish, a big smile on his face. Travel alert, returning to the hostel, you take 15 minutes to arrive. Now, about your rooms. I charge just 1 silver piece for the lot of you, the hostel owner offers, the price more than reasonable. You can stay as long as you wish, but if you leave and come back, I will have to charge another silver piece. GM note, Janet lost 10 copper pieces, you can sleep here as long as you wish and otherwise take care of yourselves. Once you leave, however, you will have to pay another silver piece to rent another room. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized and your heroes are refreshed and re-energized. Janet casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her for 5. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on Eswin, healing him for 4 hit. Nace casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, Spells are memorized and your heroes are refreshed and re-energized. Travel alert, returning to the alchemist, you take 20 minutes to arrive. The Janet lost 12 platinum pieces. In return, she receives 6 potions of eau de litter bucks. Travel alert, using the path, you travel northeast, taking 10 minutes to arrive, and with that, the guards here all stand defiantly against your party, apparently ready to slice you into pieces should you push the issue any further. You'll need to try something else before you can get past all these feline warriors. Janet uses the Orb of Invisibility, single use, and loses it from her inventory. Activating the Orb of Invisibility, the entire party is now temporarily invisible and you can sneak past the feline guards. As you approach the guards, however, they begin to sniff the air, detecting something they don't trust, your party, likely. You'll need to cover yourselves in some sort of scent that is nearly identical to that of the feline if you want to get past their unusual sense of smell. Janet uses 6 potions of eau de litter box and loses them from her inventory. The feline leader continues sniffing the air, drawing close to your party. He then turns back towards several of the other guards standing there, sniffing the air until he reaches the backside of one of the guards, convinced that it's the guard he smells. The ruse has worked and you quickly step past the guards and into the tower beyond. A grand stone stairway leads you to an opulent palace room, the colors and decor and architecture befitting of one, or a small group who may rule over an entire country. A large, heavy oaken table dominates the middle of the chamber, its 12 or so wooden chairs empty and the table itself full of food, trinkets, and other items of interest and value. A proud, older feline dressed in fancy clothes sits upon a throne that seems out of place here, as if it had been hastily constructed from materials lying about. Another older human lies on the floor near the feet of the feline, while a dozen more feline guards stand nearby. Still undetected, what would you like to explore within the palace room? Choose an option, approach and inspect the feline leader, look for additional exits leading away, search the large wooden table. Cautiously stepping past the guards, your party nears the feline leader, half asleep in his rather shoddy throne. As you approach, it's clear that there is an older human lying on the floor himself, a colorful woven strap or cord wrapped around his neck and connected to the throne as if it were some sort of leash. A moment later, the older human lying on the floor before the throne begins to stir, groggy at first. Looking about, the man stands to his feet, sniffing the air and gaining the attention of the well-dressed feline resting within the throne. Uh-oh, it appears that the human can smell you, and points in your direction as he mumbles something to his feline lord. Guards. The feline lord barks, standing to his feet and removing his longsword from its scabbard, strongly sniffing the air himself. Beware, we may have intruders about. Looks like your cover is blown. How do you react? Choose an option, reveal yourselves and offer to surrender, reveal yourselves but prepare for combat, stay hidden and hope for the best. The altruism score for Janet remains the same, recognizing that you're trapped and not wanting to escalate the situation any further, you deactivate the magic of the Orb of Invisibility, immediately revealing the party to the feline here. You then order the party to lower their weapons, hoping to avoid any needless bloodshed. The lordly feline steps to you and holds his long sword out so that its tip nearly reaches your throat. Now that he's much closer, you can tell that the feline lord is older, too, for his kind, perhaps the oldest feline you've encountered. He then speaks, surprising you with his solid command of the common language. Give me one good reason why we shouldn't butcher the lot of you, right here and now. Choose an option. Diplomacy, we mean you no harm. Honor, we're here to help. Tolerance, do we look like enemies? Playing the honor card, you quickly explain that you've been sent here on orders from the inner circle to determine what's wrong within the city and help in any way possible. The lordly feline does not seem to buy a word of it, but he does not issue the order to attack either. A few brief, tense moments pass, then the older feline backs away a step, lowering his longsword as he again addresses the party. Very well. I am Lord Rustinian, and I now oversee everything here in Nace, the stately feline proclaims, again his words articulate and well spoken for someone of his race. As you can see, there are no problems here in Nace, so I am afraid you've wasted your time coming here. Apparently bored now, the older human leashed to the throne here turns and steps away, about to lie down on the floor again and return to his nap. As he does so, let's do a party curiosity check to see if any of you notice anything. Needing a 11 or less from your heroes, a 17 was rolled. Failure, Janet. Something tells me the human there may be the legitimate lord of Nace, Nace whispers in your ear, quite concerned. Whoever it is, something is wrong with him. Lord Rustinian. Nace then calls out, taking you by surprise. Why are the feline in control of Nace, and who is this human with you? We demand answers. How typical of your kind, always making demands. Rustinian responds, rankled by Nace's words. You humans think you own everyone and everything, but you don't. We feline are now the proper guardians of Nace, and you would be wise to respect that. Humans have ruled Nace and the lands of Hope Air for centuries, Cartha replies, her voice not nearly as gruff as Nace's. How has that changed? What does it matter how it's come about? The feline lord argues, becoming angry. Yes, the humans were in control all that time, ordering us around, buying and selling us like any other commodity and even demanding our undying love and affection. Their actions were shameful and we will no longer stand for it. Now the roles are reversed, we are the keepers and the humans are the kept. While you're shocked to hear Lord Rustinian speak this way, the older human smiles at you and drops himself to the floor, content to simply lie there and fall asleep again. How do you want to respond to Rustinian? Choose an option. Empathy, we're sorry about the past. Reason, let's talk about this rationally. Spirit, your race has come a long way. We're not your enemies, Redfern jumps in, attempting to be the voice of reason. We're not even here to pass judgment. If something has happened recently that legitimately brought power to the feline race over the humans here, we're open to discuss that. Most of them are human, you can't trust them. The older human himself comments, getting comfortable on the floor like any other house pet. Lord Rustinian nods in agreement as he waves for the many feline guards here to fully surround you. Yes, trust is something earned, not just given. All of you are to be imprisoned until such time that we can trust you. Unsure of where they all came from, dozens of feline guards now surround the party, ready to cut you down if you resist. It appears you're about to be arrested. What do? Choose an option. Charisma, try to sweet talk Lord Rustinian. Intelligence, calculate survival attack odds. Wisdom, accept imprisonment, for now. Given the circumstances, you recognize that the smart play here is to accept defeat and allow yourselves to be imprisoned. You're reasonably sure the feline won't harm you and attacking them now would certainly break their trust. Each hero earns 143 experience points. This isn't right? Eswin huffs, not at all okay with the party's surrender. This better work out well. Janet. Nodding your head, you encourage the party to relax and let yourselves be led away, hoping that you will soon learn more about the felein and their apparent takeover of the city. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. Taken northwest from the power tower, you're soon locked securely within the Nacean jail, the felein leaving you with your weapons, armor, and supplies but locking the door and preventing your escape. For the moment, you're not going anywhere. I sure hope you know what you're doing, Janet. Eswin laments again, not enjoying being locked up one bit. Now what do? We wait, Redfern responds, looking around. May as well give the place a good search. Built to hold perhaps 24 inmates, the jail interior is actually rather adequate, with several sets of bunk beds for sleeping, a table, chairs, and other minimal accommodations. Not surprisingly, the windows are barred and locked, and even if you could pick the lock of the door leading out, it's barred from the other side as well. What do you think Rustinian meant by "we are the keepers and the humans are the kept"? Cartha asks, still trying to understand what is happening here in Nace. That seems simple enough, Redfern responds, lying down on one of the bunk beds and getting comfortable. The felein have somehow usurped power from the humans here in Nace and are now in control. How they did that, of course, is the better question. I didn't think felein could even speak, Ariana adds. Yet Lord Rustinian can talk more eloquently than many of my friends back home. Something has happened to them here in Nace, they've become sentient humanoid beings. Janet, let's do a quick intelligence check on your hero to see if you know what Ariana is talking about. Needing a 13 or less from Janet, a 13 was rolled. Success, sure, sentient as in consciously aware, such as humans are sentient but animals are not. Well, who really knows for sure, but traditionally only humans are considered sentient and capable of higher understanding. Not just sentient, but in control, Eswin adds, still annoyed by your party's capture. They run the city as if it belonged to them. The mystery deepens, Redfern utters, his eyes already closed as he further relaxes. After another 20 minutes of additional conversation, the room goes silent, each of you either out of things to say or nodding off completely. About 4 hours pass by, allowing some rest but not enough to relearn spells or regenerate any lost hit points. Unexpectedly, you begin to hear a soft, intermittent grinding noise from one corner of the jail floor. Eswin and Ariana hear it too, and within a few moments all of you are on your feet, about to investigate. A large stone in the corner of the floor then begins to move on its own, and after another 10 seconds or so of being pushed aside, a lone feline girl slowly rises from below, looking about. The eyes of the feline are wide open, the creature is clearly frightened, and as soon as she sees you she ducks down again. Let's do a party charisma check to see how the party initially handles this unexpected encounter. Needing a 14 or less from your heroes, a 19 was rolled. Failure, another of those feline creatures. Eswin shouts, a bit harshly. What's it doing here? Nothing happens, and for a moment it seems like Eswin has frightened the creature away. Soon, however, the head of the feline slowly reappears, the creature still quite skittish. Apparently standing on a secret stone stairway leading down and away from the cell interior, the feline steps forward, exposing perhaps half her body. While you've seen dozens if not hundreds of felines so far within Nace, this one looks different. She appears dirty, disheveled, and her clothes are mere rags. Indeed, she is rather sorry to behold. Clearly she's not here to do anyone any harm. Please, follow me. The words are awkward for the feline, as if she were in kindergarten and still learning them. The creature then turns to descend, expecting you to follow. Reaching the hole in the floor, old, crumbling stone steps lead down and away. You're free. But where are you being led, by whom and for what purpose? Leaving the locked and secure jail cell behind, your party slowly steps down the old, crumbling stone stairway here, being careful not to tumble in the dim light. The feline who rescued you is some 20 feet ahead, likely knowing the way far better than yourselves and, just as likely, not wanting to get too close to you.